Okay, we're starting our 7410 ServerCore topic, and this is ServerCore, the return of the command prompt. So let's go ahead a little about ServerCore. ServerCore is a minimal server installation option for computers running on the operating system. So ServerCore provides a low maintenance server environment with limited functionality. So what is ServerCore? Anyone knows that already? ServerCore of Windows 2012 has a feature called ServerCore where you can run commands for the whole thing. Sorry. I thought, you're just okay, no more. No. Oh, yes, more. Okay. So your machines are there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Final touch.
I'll just okay. No, we are starting a separate topic with ServerCore, which can be started on any machine, right? So that's cool. Okay, so ServerCore is a minimal server installation option for computers running on the operating system. ServerCore mainly is command prompt based, right? So just like in Linux, we give commands only. There is a GUI part, but mostly the Linux is command prompt. So Windows 2012 server is also having a core edition. So whenever we install Windows, there's always, oh, you want to install GUI, or do you want to install core, CORE, right? So the core is all, you have to give commands to do anything, right? So what's the matter, what's the reason that Microsoft would want a command-based operating system when it already has a graphic user interface or GUI based operating system? Yeah, so security, hackers cannot attack. So this last point here, more or less 75% of the attacks happen on graphical user interface. Hence ServerCore is more secure than graphical user interface, because there's a lot of coding involved in the graphical interface to load all the graphical features, right? But in ServerCore, it's already very small space it takes, and small amount of coding is used, and so that's why attacks are 75% less. So if you have in your production environment some server or client machine even that is it's not high end, less memory, less processing, less hard space is there, and you're about to throw it, instead you could just install ServerCore on that, and it's you can then install on top of ServerCore, you can install any of the roles like DNS, DHCP, even you can install Active Directory there. Active Directory does not take a lot of space, right? So you can just use your old computers as well, as long as they are 64-bit, right? You can use your old computers as well for ServerCore. So that's for benefit of using ServerCore with a small footprint, small size. It doesn't take a lot of memory, doesn't take a lot of processing, doesn't take a lot of space on the hard disk. But I've seen in the bank they are using ServerCore as well for very high-end servers as well. High-end means a huge amount of RAM, huge amount of processor, huge amount of hard disk space, and they are still using ServerCore. You know why? No. So banks have their own security software as well, even for graphical interface. Very good security software. So let me just draw that as well. So if you have a computer here, and you install here Windows 2012 R2 ServerCore. So if it is a high-end computer, then, which means a lot of memory, a lot of hard disk space, and a lot of processing, a good processor. So high-end computer, then you can first would be install ServerCore. Then the second thing would be you can install the role called Hyper-V. Now this is a virtualization role from Microsoft, what does virtualization mean? So, yeah, any computer, you can install a virtual server on that. This means instead of using 4 physical servers, you can have 1 physical server with 3 virtual servers. A virtual server and a physical server perform the same way, and virtual server can do anything that a physical server can do, right? But physical server can still perform faster because it's directly using RAM processor. So are we already using virtualization? Yes, true or false? True. Are we already using virtualization right now? True. So how are we using virtualization right now? VMware Workstation. So inside VMware Workstation we have these virtual machines. So if you had installed directly this one on the desktop machines directly, then if you're not using virtualization and we are using just 2 machines for all our labs, then you would have needed 2 machines for just 1 student, 2 machines for just 1 physical machines. Now instead of using physical machines, we are using virtual machines, right? So that because of VMware Workstation or because of the virtualization technology. So what I was saying, that if ServerCore has a very small footprint, it doesn't take a lot of space, memory and processor, then we can install ServerCore on a high-end computer, high-end server actually, and then go for Hyper-V role. You know what Hyper-V does? So if I just start putting it here, first you install on a very high-end server, ServerCore. On top of ServerCore, you go for Hyper-V role, and then on top of Hyper-V you can start installing virtual machine. Hyper-V is just like VMware Workstation. The concept is same, but the thing is that this is from Microsoft. Hyper-V is from Microsoft. VMware Workstation is from VMware company, right? And actually VMware Workstation is still a client-side software. There is a server-side software as well, which is from VMware, and it is called ESXi. So when I was asking, explaining that you must have a plan, you should do all those courses, you must be doing VMware course, which is VCP 6 DCV, which you're already there, right? So in the market, it's huge amount of companies have VMware environment, and it's a very big VMware environment. VMware environment is stable. If I'm saying here we can install Hyper-V role, if it was VMware, so it would be a hardware. You would purchase a very high-end hardware here, and then you would just put VMware ESXi hypervisor, and then on top of that again the same structure. You would see virtual machine. So Microsoft has Hyper-V as a hypervisor, and VMware has ESXi as a hypervisor, right? They both do the same thing. If you want to have a lot of virtual machines, so one virtual machine is web server, one virtual machine is print server, one is file server, exchange server, and any other you can just install in virtual machines. The main thing is you don't have to buy these many physical machines anymore. That's the only benefit, right? But anyway, ServerCore has many benefits. So if we go back here to the slide, first was ServerCore is a minimal server installation option for computers running on the operating system. So minimal server installation option, we just talked about that. It takes very less space. Second thing is low maintenance, because it's not graphical interface, so there is a very less maintenance. There are very less chances of it getting corrupt, right? And third thing is that it was introduced in 2008 R2, and then in Hyper-V, the main difference between 2008, there are many extra features that were introduced in ServerCore in Windows 2008, and from 2008 against 2008 into 2012. There are many extra features, but the main feature is the conversion of graphical interface to core interface, and conversion back from core interface to graphical interface. You can anytime, so there will be a black screen just like DOS, you can give commands there, and then you can convert it back to graphical interface, which we are normally using here, and then you can convert it back to from graphical to core again. So that's a very cool feature. Starting 2012, it is possible to transition between full server and server core. That's what I was talking about. And again, the 75% attacks happen on graphical interface. So what are the roles? Server core is an installation option that is capable of the following server roles. There are so many roles you can deploy, a huge amount of roles you can deploy. So this means if it's any extra machine you're about to throw, even you can then install server core directly on that, and these many roles you can install on that. Active Directory doesn't take a lot of space. DHCP, DNS, file services may take a lot of space, so you have to think about it. Hyper-V is what big companies mainly use the server core for, because once you install server core, then you install then you just add Hyper-V role on that, and then we're gonna do Hyper-V lab in coming days. So then you install Hyper-V lab, and after that you can install virtual machines on top of that, just like VMware Workstation, right? So there are many roles that we can install on server core, and there are two ways we can basically configure server core. One is a built-in command called sconfig, through which we will configure our basic server core. And the second is this utility which a Microsoft expert has came up with, that's called core fig, and it has a lot of more options to configure server core. And then there are the hardest options. So there's an easy way to configure, there's a hard way to configure. The hard way to configure is you give commands. There's netsh .exe command, through which you can configure all the network cards, and then there is netdom, that through this command you can configure all the joining the domain, changing the name of the computer. So that's the hardest way to do it, but let's go for the built-in sconfig way of configuring our server core. So netsh and netdom, right? I'm gonna send you that document just for your knowledge. If in interview they ask, hey, do you know totally command based configuration of server core, how you can configure just from commands? I mean, these are long commands, we're not following those because there could be so many mistakes and we could lose so much time, right? So then I'm just gonna give you the document for steps for, just to get an idea, that's how we can configure from just the commands, and you have to type the whole thing again. We're still gonna use commands today, but that's at least the least way we have to, we cannot avoid that. We can use third-party tools to configure the server core as well. Okay, so we talked about that. Let's get down to action. So we will use sconfig, yes we will. After basic configuration is done, then we will convert it to GUI server. We will join it to domain. So our objective today, here, first we're going to install server core, right? Directly, not by cloning. Then once you install server core, then we're going to configure it with sconfig. Then after basic configuration, which is give the IP address, rename, and join to domain, right? So then we will convert it from command prompt to graphical interface. Then once we convert to graphical interface, or even before converting graphical interface, we can join to the domain, convert it to GUI, yeah. Then we install two roles. After we convert it to GUI, we install two roles. We are going to install Active Directory and DNS. Then we're going to convert it back to the command prompt role again, or server core role, and we're going to confirm if it is still a replica DC or not, right? So as it says, we'll convert it back to server core. Then finally we will convert it back to server core, and we will confirm, or okay, I'm repeating that, seriously. Okay, so let's just try to do that now. So everyone on your VMware workstation, Okay, first thing, yeah, we're not going to use the current second machine. Yes, we need the first server, we do not need the second server, right? So we're going to be installing ServerCore on a new Windows machine, right? Windows virtual machine. So let's go to home and go to create a new virtual machine. Everyone there?
Yeah.
So create a new virtual machine, and then the typical, right? Next, and then click this, and it should not be showing SXI6. It should be, well, in your case, of course, it's just going for, sorry, yeah, 2012 R2. Is it showing this 2012 R2 detected
Yeah.
for everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir. Mr. Sohail.
Yeah.
We're creating new machine, right?
Yeah.
So 2012 R2 detected. Next. So I'm just gonna put here extra as server core 01. So server core 01. Everyone do it done? Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay. Server core 01 here. Okay, next. Yeah, 60 GB is okay. Whatever is the default, just leave it like that. We're not gonna install a lot inside. And the default split virtual disk option is okay as well, right? Next. Customize hardware. So do you remember what we gave? VMnet. VMnet 8 is for internet connection.
No, 14.
VMnet 14. We can still change it later, but do you know why it is important to have the same VMnet as our domain controller virtual machine VMnet, so they can communicate with each other, right? So I should have gone there first and checked. Maybe it's VMnet 14 or VMnet 16, but as you said, VMnet 14. So let's just select VMnet 14. But we're gonna later double check it.
So we use two of them. When we added the new one, we use VMware Net 8.
VMnet 8 for internet connection.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the regular one is 14.
So VMnet 8 just for because it creates more confusion than benefit. So I removed it, right? VMnet 8. So let's not have VMnet 8. If you see VMnet 8, remove that. But let's click close here. What we have selected here is VMnet 14 because we are thinking that server 1, our domain controller, is also on VMnet 14. Because if they're on the same VMnet, they can then communicate, right? So click close.
Do you need a sound card?
Hmm?
A sound card?
Oh, we don't need the sound card. Okay. But okay, sound card, remove. Close, finish. If you did not remove sound card and you click finish by accident, it's okay. Doesn't matter. Click finish. Now it should start installation. While it has started installation, I would just right click the domain controller virtual machine, go to settings, just to check, double check and triple check VMnet 14 is there. And if you guys are there, if you see VMnet 8 there, just remove it, because it's creating more confusion than helping us and we don't need internet every time. So if you have right clicked on server 1, in fact, go ahead and right click on server 1 and go to settings, and then if you see the second VMnet 8, click that and click remove, right? Oh, you're already there, so stay there.
If it's 14, then we leave.
If it's 14, then we leave. Yeah. So do not go further.
What's this unit here? I had it as a 4.
Okay, cool. So we're just gonna go ahead with the server. Everyone on this screen. So let's click install now and everything. Once you reach this one, okay. Well, come on.
It should be data center server core. You can
Yeah.
install it.
Third one. So if you reach this screen already, then it's data center evaluation. Are you on there?
Yeah.
So third one, right? Data center server core. Right? Next. And then it's just IXF license terms and next. Custom install just like before. And partitioning, no partitioning, just one big partition, 60 GB, and there you go. It's not gonna take more time because it's very less installation and the machines are good. Okay, so let's get back to lab screenshots. Okay, so once we install ServerCore, what are our next steps? So I'm just gonna draw that as well.
Configure the system.
So
Like the network cards.
exactly, bingo. So I'm just gonna put the major steps here. The first one is that install ServerCore, which is going on. Second step would be configure it. And what we're gonna configure is static IP, rename, and join to domain. And third step would be then after renaming join to domain, then log in from Netplus admin. Fourth step would be after joining the domain, we can log in from Netplus admin. And then fourth step would be to convert this machine to GUI, and there are 4 commands for that, and we need to understand those commands. And excuse me, the fifth step is there's a frog in my throat. Oh no, the fifth is that install. Huh? Oh, you can just throw it. I'm a good catcher. Okay. Just one.
I also have become the heat. वो जैसे लंदन में मैं never will become an.
No, no,
वो कहता मैं कैट भी अच्छा पकड़ तो थ्रू भी अच्छा.
okay.
So don't try.
So it's veggie or no, I am veggie. That's what.
Oh.
Okay, not veggie. I am just care. Yeah. Thank you very much for. Oh wow.
This is cherry flavor.
Good. Okay, let me be in the. Okay, so install. Then once we convert from core to GUI, we're gonna install replica. So we're gonna install AD/DNS. Then we're going to convert it back to core with another option called. If we convert it back to core, we must be seeing server manager there as well. And for that, there's another command for that. When we convert it back, so after conversion back to core from GUI, we're gonna make sure that is it still a replica DC? What's a replica DC? Anyone knows that?
Clone and
Let's not call it clone. What's a replica DC?
Copy of the
save me the copy of the.
Yeah, so we can better call it additional domain controller or helper domain controller. But the professional terminology you should use in the interview and everywhere, replica DC. It's just a helper domain controller. So there will be two computers with Active Directory, right? So is it still a replica DC when we convert it back to core? Oops. Okay, we're trying over that. How do we check that, right? So we go to server 1, open Active Directory user and computers, and then go to domain controllers area just to check. Right? Okay, is it still a replica DC? And does server manager now also open. So these are the objectives we need to achieve after we have done those installations, right? So lab objectives are written here anyway, and if I just put it with live editing, objectives. Okay, so ServerCore has, I think, been installed by now. So we're gonna use the utility called sconfig. So let's go back to our machine. Is it done or not? And it is. It's done, right, on the screen. So the class password, let's give that. And our class password has changed, right? It's XYZ, small XYZ, capital XYZ, and shift 1 to 3. So let's go there. Yes, sir. What is that? It installed. It did not? Oh, is there an error?
Yeah, there's something I thought I just clicked it and then came back to install now again.
Why? Oh, okay. Okay, click install now, and
It's asking for the
was it asking for a repair option? Oh, what is this? Okay. So, media driver, your computer needs is missing. This could be a DVD, USB, or this.
Let's see.
Oh, that's a gamer who's still mounted there. We have to unmount gamer who's and mount DVD of the Windows 25 version. Connect the power on first. Second thing, we have to do the mounting. So instead, we're going to go for the enterprise means Windows 8, server means now it's going to should rescan. I think we have to go that. Oh, it's still weird. Okay, no one. Well, if it is not there Windows 2012, how come?
no, it shows on the thing when we choose browse the ISO file.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you don't use it do the first.
Yeah, manage, delete from this. This, the sharing
Yeah.
is,
You may have seen it.
yeah, I think that's it. And, ServerCore, cache ServerCore. And it was 14.
Yeah, 14 years.
Now, okay, since the machines are fast, I think it should cover that. Oh, wow. Very good. Next, install. Oh, please not detect. Thank you. Okay. Well, it will not take that much time. But try to understand as well what's going on.
Okay. I already told the guy, the number you gave it to me. Somebody else, other guy interested.
Now, so everyone on this screen.
I'm on the command prompt right now.
So, okay. Have we given the password? The user password must be changed. Oh, I did not. So, XYZ, XYZ, capital, shift 1 to 3, XYZ, XYZ, capital, shift 1 to 3, enter. So, everyone on this command prompt? Okay. There doesn't seem a lot we can do.
Almost.
Almost there.
Because,
Restarting?
yeah, we can work on
Alright.
the. Go ahead, so you actually.
And Mr. Suhail, you're also there?
Yeah.
Okay. So our password is given. It's a local administrator that it logged in from. Now we need to basically configure it. The command is sconfig. SCONFIG and press enter. Sconfig. Oh, you're already there, so that's cool. Sconfig, yeah. So SCONFIG, very simple command. When we press enter, that's the menu that it gives us. And what we can see here is every number is given there, and then domain, workgroup join, computer name, and IP address, date and time. Everything can be configured here, basic everything. What we are interested in are three things. One is static IP, second is the name of the machine, and third is domain join, right? So everyone have to there? Okay, so let's just go for number 8, which is network settings. So we type here 8. We type here 8 and press enter, right? Now available network adapters. So it has given index number here, and IP address can be seen here, which it received from our DHCP, of course. But this is every server is a critical resource, so it has to be given static IP, right? So we're gonna get static IP here. How to suppose there were 4 network adapters. Suppose it would have given index number here 10, 11, 9, 8. It just gives random index numbers, right? So in our case, we just have one network adapter, so we can just choose this one. So we can just type here 10, which is the index number of one network adapter we have. 169. So DHCP is not in contact. Oh
But I get it for index number.
no, but if you get a paper, this means that maybe your VMnet is wrong or different from your domain controller VMnet. So you have to double check that, because after when you do a domain join, it's not going to join as well. So double check your VMnet.
For the first one.
You already joined it?
No.
Okay.
I couldn't get a time for come and I just made those two ones.
Oh, you don't have Active
Remember
Directory?
I told you somebody
Yeah.
deleted it and I made it.
Yeah.
I didn't get a time for come and
Active Directory.
join.
So there's no Active Directory
No.
there? Oh, okay. I'm just
There is
trying to enjoy this moment.
I tried for putting
Mm-hmm.
the domain name.
Mm-hmm.
This was some conflict get for inside. I get an error. That day I was leaving the error.
So try to give us any other domain name, right? Your name
No,
dot
I put
local,
it on Netplus college dot local.
which is okay.
Yeah, but that doesn't accept it. I get an error. That's why I didn't finish that.
Okay. Well, yeah, we really need Active Directory for every next class as well. So, okay, and let me know if there's error at that time when I'm there. So, index number 10, everyone wrote that. So press enter. When you press enter, now it says that this is the network setting of your network card, but we need to set network adapter address. So we're just going to type here 1 and press enter, which is set network adapter address. So let's do the selection 1. Enter. Now it's saying from DHCP or static IP. So of course we're gonna go for static. So we're gonna type S. Everyone there? S for static, and press enter. Now we can enter the static IP. So whatever is next sequentially available IP address. So we already used 200.1 for domain controller, 202 for member server. So this could be 200.3, 192.168.200.3, and press enter.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
I pressed twice, 1 and 1. And how should I go back?
1 and 1. Yeah, just return to main menu. It says here 4. So when you press 4 and enter, then what happens?
Okay, 1. Okay. Now I'm there.
Okay, go. Okay, so this is the IP address we are giving, 200.3. I hope we did not give it for any other machine, 200.3 yet. No. So press enter here, and subnet mask it will give already. Everyone, it's showing subnet mask. Mr. Sohail,
No.
You need to give it? No.
we don't have to give it, but is it showing like this? So it
When I
did.
go to main menu, then I press 1 and then again 1.
Yeah. Then you press 1 and then again. No, first when you go to main menu, then you go for 10, which is index number. Do you see this network card?
10 and then 1
Yeah.
and then
S. Exactly. You're there now. So then you give.
From 8.
So just press enter here. Yeah. For DHCP, we just have to press enter, right? So DHCP, we don't have to type anything because that's the DHCP address subnet mask you want. Oh, not DHCP. Seriously, what I'm talking about? Subnet mask. 200.3 and press enter. So 192.168.200.3.
So we are giving this one to serve, like the one to serve, right? Not outside the DHCP.
Yeah. So this is just this is outside DHCP range. So this has nothing to do with DHCP. So 192, the gateway we know already. 200.50 is the gateway. And if we have done that, we can press enter. Alright, thank you. So, you have written gateway as well, Mr. Sohail?
just the IP address
Uh-huh.
and gateway
Okay. When you press enter, gateway automatically comes, so press enter again
1 and 2
to go for... Oh, subnet mask. Seriously, what's wrong with me? Enter. And so when you press finally after gateway, when you press enter, so 200.50, you've written that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then it comes back to the main this menu of network adapter settings. Then we go for option number 2 to do the DNS server. Exactly. So option number 2, press enter. And then of course we know our DNS server 192.168.200.2.
Again, when I press enter after the gate,
Yeah, then this screen should come on the board.
DNS 1,
Yes.
not 2.
Yeah, who said 2? It is always 1, or wherever the DNS is installed, it should be there 1. I was just testing if somebody says other than 1. Yes, sir. Sohail sir.
it was good.
Ui. Master Ji.
When I keep doing this, I put the 2 first, then I change to 1.
Which is okay.
Yeah.
So it just says alternate DNS is not set.
Yeah.
Because we don't have alternate DNS, so it's okay. So when we, after typing this, when we press enter, this preferred DNS server set option comes. Yeah, you see that, right? And then there is no alternate DNS, so we're just gonna only press
Is
enter.
there any command like number to exit the whole thing?
Yeah, 4.
Yeah, he put something else and then go for a C command.
Oh, sconfig.
Start again,
Yeah, sconfig again.
Screen says shut up.
Oh,
Yeah, they didn't even without space cable, they just type everything.
now if DNS is done, so IP address is done, DNS is done, and from that menu we can go to 4, right?
Okay.
Oh. Okay. 4. Everyone there? 4.
Return
Yeah.
to the main.
Enter. When we go for return to the main menu, now we have just 2 things left. One is to rename the machine, and second is to join to the domain, right? So here, either we can do both steps in one go, or we can do rename separate and join domain separate. So if we do rename separate and join join to domain separate, then it's gonna require 2 restarts. So we can do the whole thing in one go. When you try to join this to the domain, it asks also for renaming as well. You want to rename the machine or not, right? The tricky part here is when you type the password, it does not give you those star star star. So you have to trust your fingers and you have to trust your mind that what you put there, it's just the screen is always blank. You have to just trust yourself and put the correct password and press enter. If it is okay, it will go ahead. Otherwise, it will ask you again, or you have to start joining it to the domain again. So join domain, we're gonna go straight, and it's gonna ask for renaming of the machine as well.
So if you want to rename here, how do you do it?
Rename, if you separately want to rename, it's 2, option number 2, right?
Twice we said.
You know what, joining domain and rename both are a bit tricky. So let's separately do that,
So
right?
we're not gonna do remote desktop for this one?
We're not connecting from our desktop, otherwise it's just yes. We're just going to convert it. Main job is to convert. We can enable it, but we're not gonna remote desktop it. So let's go for option number 2, which is computer name change, right? So 2. Everyone on 2?
Yeah.
And press enter. Oh, you there?
Yeah.
2 and press enter. Now it says enter new computer name. So what we put there during the creation of the machine, ServerCore 01. Press enter. ServerCore 01. Press enter. So it says you must restart your computer to apply these changes. Everyone sees that? Press yes. Because it will restart fast, it's okay as well. Okay, we're back, and send Control Alt Delete. So since we did not join the domain, so still we're going to log in from local administrator XYZ, small XYZ, shift 423, enter. And then once inside, we're going to type sconfig again. So everyone logged in? Sconfig. Sconfig, everyone there? So press enter, sconfig. When you type sconfig again, this menu comes, and now the option number 1 we can go for, which is workgroup. So option number 1 here, and press enter. Option number 1, everyone there?
Yeah.
So when you press enter, option number 1, it says join to domain of workgroup, of course domain. So we're gonna type D here and press enter, right? D, press enter, right? Everyone there? So join domain, name of domain to join. We know the name of domain? Netplus domain dot local. Netplus domain dot local. Okay, press enter. Make sure your spellings are correct. So when you press enter, now specify an authorized domain /user. So again, net plus domain only /net plus admin. So it should be this, right? You want the fans off or turn off? Scan? You want it off?
Plus admin.
Yeah, so specify an authorized domain user, net plus domain /net plus admin, right? And then it's gonna ask for password, and that's gonna be tricky. So you have to really trust your instincts. And it's not gonna show you like how many have you typed already, right?
Same password.
So it has to be XYZ, small capital XYZ, shift 123, right?
Plus admin is on the server too, right?
No, Netplus admin, we changed our domain administrator, renamed it to Netplus admin last time, right?
On the server too.
On server 1, 2, on the domain itself.
Okay.
So if you change it to domain on any computer, you can log in again, right? Netplus domain /netplus admin, enter. And now it asks for a password like this. So if you type, it's not going to tell you how. So press enter. Oh, you're there? Oh, where you are? You already did that?
Yeah. Just
Hey.
waiting for you.
Hey, XYZ capital XYZ123. So it did not type that, but hopefully we are correct. So I'm just going to press enter after the password, and
I didn't.
it says, do you want to change the computer name before restarting? I'll say no. Did you see this? Did you get this? So if you didn't get this one, you got it.
Different one because I don't set up for the domain. So
Oh, okay.
that's why they said the specified domain either does not exist or could be contacted.
Okay. Yikes. Hey, Active Directory, come on, man. It's like 2-minute task.
So in case you have a wrong password,
You have to do that again.
It will give you the message.
Yeah. So I'm just not trying to change my computer name because we already changed that. Yes, Mr. Suhail.
No, yeah.
You're on the same screen. Cool. So I'm just going to press no because we already changed the name, right? And you want to restart? Yes. After domain join, we have to restart. So press yes. It's restarting. Yes. What happened, honey? So what happened? Cool. Yeah, you can just try again, which is option number 1. Type 1 and press enter. And B. And name of the domain. Join. Netplus domain. Password. Enter. Now, Netplus domain. Backslash. Netplus admin. Enter. Now, XYZ. Okay, good. So you don't want to rename? No. Then you want to restart? So no here.
Yeah, Mr. Yeah.
Yeah, that was quick. So
What's the second option after we gave the domain name? It was asking the users, right? Who will be logged in?
the high privileged user who is allowed to join any computer to the domain.
So you were going to answer.
Yeah. Since you're not repeating the labs at home, oh yeah. Okay. So you forgot that option there that we renamed it to. We created a copy of the administrator, right? Which can log in from all the computers of the domain that has joined to the domain, right? Okay. So let's go for now. We need to log in from Netplus admin, right? So has everyone restarted your machine? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're just going to click arrow here, and we're going to go to other user, and then we're going to go for Netplus admin.
I have the
Huh?
I have the command prompt.
Which is so
After you started.
after restart. Yes, you should have. But did you log in from local administrator or did you log in from Netplus admin?
I didn't log in.
You did not log in.
Oh, I did log in. I didn't look at it.
Okay. No, then you logged in actually from
So I just exited.
local administrator. So exit out of that. Log off. LOGOFF. If you just type that as well. Did you log off?
Yeah.
And then other user and go for Netplus admin. Now we log in from, okay, if I put the correct password, domain. And so once we're inside the domain, yay, nothing. Okay, so now we need to start giving commands, and I'm going to put those commands on notepad.pw on the website. So everyone on this screen, first of all,
Plus admin.
Netplus admin, and the password is XYZ.
Only I am not that part.
Oh, but we can convert still. But one more thing, Active Directory.
I'll finish today.
If you start even now, it's gonna take not more than 5 minutes. Or in the break, we can do it together, right? Okay, so Netplus admin, everyone there. Now, what are the commands that we need to give? So I'm just gonna go back here. The first command is that we create a folder inside the C drive where we are already. So in order to, there are longer commands here as well. I need to send those commands to you so you could copy that. But before even doing that, I should have added here install VMware tools, so you can copy paste the commands instead of typing the whole thing. So install VMware tools first. So I'm just going to go back. At this point we need to install VMware tools. How do we do that? So right click on the machine. So I'm just gonna go back, the same drill, but it's gonna be a little different here. So right click on the machine, the Windows core machine, and go for install VMware tools. When we click this, it always mounts the VMware tools to the DVD of that server, right? Whenever we do this, it does not start installation, right? So did you click install VMware tools? Everyone did that? So when you do that, did anything happen? No, because it just mounted the DVD. We have to initiate the installation ourselves. Okay, if it's the DVD, then the drive letter would be C is our local drive, D would be the, and how to go to the other drive? D colon, right? To go to the other drive letter or any other hard disk or DVD ROM. So when you type D colon and press enter, you should be here in D. So does it show you as D colon backslash, everyone? So then we can check dir, that checks the contents of the directory. Enter. So if you see here setup64.exe, and VMware tools upgrade is already showing there, this means that correct VMware tools have been mounted to the DVD. Now we can just initiate the installation of VMware tools for this server. So the last one is this. If I just type here SE and press tab, no, not this one, tab again, this one, yeah, setup 64, right? So if you press tab 2 times,
Twice tab.
press tab again. Okay, everyone there? Setup 64, enter. So now we just go for, you already did that?
No, I can log in for locally?
Yeah. The rest you can do local. So VMware tools, and yeah, it's just gonna install the way we were installing before in the graphical interface as well. So if this prompt comes, the rest is typical next finish and restart, and it's gonna save a lot of our time to copy paste the commands easily instead of typing the whole thing. Okay, while it is installing, I can just remove this yellow line at the bottom. Okay, the same thing, next, finish. Which one?
The port server screen is blank.
Well, there's always a way. If suppose guys this happens,
Command is not there.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna show now. So if suppose accidentally you do this, now what to do? Now this is a blank space you're in, right? Huh?
Press escape.
And okay, let's press escape. So send all control delete again here. From here send all control delete or all control insert. So from this here on the top, the 3 white buttons.
White one.
Yeah. Now we should be seeing this option, right? Then we go for task manager, right? And then we go for more details. Now once the task manager is open, go for file, run new task, and type cmd, right? So when you type cmd, press OK, your prompt is back, and then close the task manager again, right? So now because if this is gone and we don't know that, then we are stuck. We have to then log off, log in, right? Okay, so VMware Tools is installed for everyone.
Yeah.
So click finish and restart. Sorry?
I had an error something about cannot mount the memory. Let's restart and see.
Okay. The VMware Tools is not mounting?
Yeah, it is something about okay. I think we're cheating something. I'll see. It's not disappearing.
Yeah, I just gave the path again for the 2012.
Yeah.
But whenever you click this, install VMware Tools, it just mounts it again. So it should not be a problem. Well, let's see.
My DVD
Doesn't show up. It's not D.
director, no.
Try
The
E
empty-
colon.
Empty DVD.
Okay,
I
so
checked
let's
it.
check it out.
DIR is only for setup exe.
After restarting, I'm logging in, and then let's check it out. So we should be back here, and yeah, pause, resume, and now I need to send you those commands. How do I do that? One thing is I can email you those commands. Second thing is there's that website that we already tested.
Goodbye.
Yes, so we already used it already. So open your Internet Explorer, notepad.pw/410. If you type exact same 410, so you have to type exact same spelling here.
Site cannot be
Hmm? Now then check the spelling. Okay, you should be seeing these two lines. Everyone there? Everyone?
So this is like
We can just do live sharing there, right? Do you see two lines there? Scan? Yeah.
I forget.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there we
Is exact two lines are showing? These two lines are showing here?
yeah.
Sohail, you're there. Okay, so first command I'm sharing now because we're gonna stay on that website until we finish that. So first command I'm sharing is this, which is mkdir mount dir. It's creating a new folder called mount dir by the name of mount dir, right? So I'm just gonna go there and share this. So the first command is there. Now you should be able to refresh your F5 your screen. Yeah, if you see that, copy paste that. So select and copy. So guys, see this, right click, select all and then right click and do not use cut, use copy, right? If you use cut, it's gonna go away, right? In some of the classes on the day one, I have to actually show that some students are by the top option they select by accident. So okay, if this is there, let's just go inside and just execute this command. So I'm just going back to the machine here and right click and paste. If we had not run VMware Tools, we could not have done this right click and paste, right? So does it just work like this? It should not. So guys, see this. Yeah, let's do it properly. So although we pasted it, so cd backslash, first let's do this, cd backslash and press enter. So you're there?
Login, right?
Yeah, you have to log in. So other user or Netplus admin. Yeah, Netplus admin. So cd backslash, and then we can just type directly mkdir and mountdir even. Even if you just type this, if you're on the correct place, you can just type this as well. mkdir space mount dir. What is it? Wrong password? Something? Okay. Okay. So now cd backslash to go to the root of C, cd backslash, and then mkdir space mount dir, right?
Okay, so
Now type this, Ali. Yeah,
I'll type it.
mkdir and then mount dir, mkdir space.
This means it's making break from.
Yeah, mkdir make directory. Which directory? Mount dir. So enter. When we enter, if the prompt is empty, this means it has been created, and we can confirm that by dir. Yeah, go for dir and see the contents. What happened? You are in C drive or D drive? It's okay. Is the folder spelling wrong?
No, make correct and spell
Okay. mkdir.
it.
Oh, no problem. So is it done?
Yeah, it's done.
All right. So then do dir just to make sure that mount dir is created, right? So it will show you the contents of the directory. Let's go ahead for the next command, which is, so first we created an empty folder here. Second thing, now there are two steps here. First step is make sure that your DVD has Windows 2012 ISO mounted to it. You know why it is not there right now? Because we mounted the VMware tools right now to install VMware tools. So we have to go back to the DVD and mount the 2012 R2 again to do the next step. So for that, because we need to reach some files inside the Windows 2012 DVD. So for that, let's go back to that machine, ServerCore, and right click that ServerCore, settings. Everyone there? Settings. And then DVD. And now click browse exactly and select the line that says server, the second line in your case.
Enterprise.
Whatever says server. Enterprise is a Windows 8.1. So select the line that says server in the middle. Right? Do not go for the top line, the line that says server in the middle. So see the board. Everyone see the board. If you see the server like this in the middle, that's the line you need to select. And it's the second line actually. Yeah, expand that line. You already selected that? Scan? Yeah. Okay, you already selected that?
Go to DVD, CD, DVD, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's not.
So see this? Yep.
Yeah.
So you selected already? DVD and then browse.
Number
And,
two, right?
sorry?
Number 2, right?
Yeah. Make sure it says server in the middle anywhere.
Yeah, server
Yep.
IR3.
Yeah, if the name server is there, this is a 2012 server. Press OK, and now it is mounted. And what's the proof? If we go to D colon, thank you. So if it's a D colon, did I resume
You say okay?
for mounted? Yeah. And then what's the proof? When we go to D colon now, or the DVD drive in the command prompt, D colon enter and dir. So it should be showing boot mgr, setup, sources. If the sources folder is there, we already know that it's a Windows 2012 R2 ISO, right? If the sources folder is there, support, sources, boot mgr, these are typical 2012, and it says here anyway, right? DB5. So let's just go for the next command now. So we have made sure that 2012 is mounted. So I'm just gonna type the or paste the next command on that link.
Oh, sorry, one
Hmm?
second. When we said we got the
Mhm.
template, we were basically mounting ISO on DVD drive, right?
When we were setting up the
On
template,
Yeah.
at that time,
choosing the ISO file. right?
exactly. At that time, yes, it was there.
And then when we installing VMware, we switch back to VMware.
Yes.
Now we putting it back.
Putting it back to the same configuration which was already there before as well. Exactly. So DISM, I'm just gonna. So we are already in D drive, everyone.
Yeah.
D colon. So I'm just going to copy this command there and paste it there. So now whatever is on the top, just copy paste this command, take that command now, and let's paste it there. So everyone sees that command there, right?
Yeah.
If you don't, press F5. So pasting it here back, paste. So this is the command here. Everyone pasted it. So what is it doing? It is trying to get Vim info. It is just trying to get information of how many editions of Windows 2012 R2 we have. So since we are in the command server core, which is just command prompt, and we are trying to convert this core to a graphical interface, so that's why we need to go for the edition that offers graphical files, right? So if we press enter here, it says index 1 is standard core, then index 2 is standard graphical interface. If it doesn't say core, it's a graphical GUI, right? But it doesn't say that data center core, and last one, we know that it's data center GUI. It doesn't say GUI, but it is that. So we need the files from index 4. You know why? It has all the graphical files inside, and we need to convert from this core to graphical interface, right? So that's why the files we need either standard GUI, which is this second one, or data center GUI, graphical interface, right? So we're gonna go for 4. So how do we do that? So let's go for the next command. And the next command is, let's mount install.vim to that folder and then install GUI mode. Okay, now type D. So what it's doing, so let me just copy the command, then I'm going to explain what it does. So now the third command is coming. Enter. So copy paste this command. You can see that index 4 is mentioned here. Okay. Excuse me. Paste. So that's a long command, but what does it do? So now it's saying that go inside the index 4, grab the file called install.vim. The install.vim file, the Vim file, right? Install.vim file has all the installation files of an operating system. Later in 7411, when we are going to do WDS, Windows Deployment Services, this file plays a very crucial role in deploying an operating system over the network to an empty machine, right? On this Tuesday we're doing that, WDS, right? So install.vim. So what we're saying here is that go to 2012 DVD, grab the install.vim file, and then paste all the files inside this graphical interface to the empty folder we created already, right? What is the name of the empty folder we created? Mount dir, right? So it's going to grab files from here, graphical files, and then paste them here, and then later we're going to launch from local mount dir folder the graphical interface, right? So if we press enter, does it look like this? Percentage thing?
Yeah.
Percentage? Everyone perfect? Working? It showed percentage scan?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
basically is mounting this image wherever the Vim installation
Files.
image is making over there.
Exactly. So from
For the main
ISO,
directory, whether the mount
Yeah.
directory you made it.
exactly. So from ISO of Windows 2012, it's grabbing the install.vim file contents, and these files help install the graphical interface, whatever is inside install.vim. So it mounts it to the mount dir, the new folder. So when those files from the DVD are inside the mount dir folder, now we can launch, we can run a command and say, hey, now we need these files to convert this server core to graphical interface, right? What is the next command then? Let's go for,
Only 80%.
oh, it's done?
Yeah.
80%.
Oh no, it's not 80%.
Okay, cool. Because all machines are 32 GB and i7 processor, so it should be fast. but yeah. So this is the first command we just implemented. Now go back to C drive and type PowerShell. Now the next command is a PowerShell command. So we can open PowerShell module. If we stay inside the command prompt and just type PowerShell and press enter, it will load the PowerShell commands. And we need the PowerShell commands now for the next command to run, right? So our first step or our next step now will be, if we are still on the machine, we only type PowerShell.
You got changing the directory.
Or change drive.
Right, yes, sir.
Even if you type PowerShell now and change drive later, it's okay. So C colon, I'm just changing back the C colon, enter, and then typing PowerShell and enter. Now make sure that PS is written before C. This means the PowerShell commands have been loaded. Now we can use those commands. If PS is not showing, PowerShell commands never run, right? If PS is not showing. Okay, PS is showing for everyone. So let's go for the next command, and that is the final one, and it says install Windows feature server GUI mgmt infra and server GUI shell. Server GUI shell installs the whole graphical interface, and server GUI management infra installs the server manager portion. You know, server manager loads always the first when we start the Windows. So these two commands are installing the different versions. And minus source, where is the source? It's the mount dir, where we copied all the files from the DVD, right? So where is that command? Let's go for that. Okay, yeah, welcome.
That's not my fault. There was accident.
Oh, okay. For one?
Yeah, for one.
Okay, yeah, it happened. Oh, seriously? Because I needed to go home. So I hope this is gone. I think it's coming.
Westbound is very busy.
Okay, so I'll just leave now. Thank you. Oh, no, just kidding. So, okay, this command here, install. So we are in C drive already, and this is where we're going to grab the command from. So install dash Windows feature. So I'm just gonna copy this command there as well. The fourth one. So paste. Okay, grab this command and run it, and good luck. This command actually starts converting our server core to GUI. Okay, everyone. So now I'm just gonna put that command there. Paste and enter. Okay, everyone started just collecting data. Its percentage is coming, right?
Yeah, no, I didn't look at it. I was looking
Oh,
at the
here.
bottom, yeah.
It's on the top. Okay.
Top with the color screen.
Yeah. So does it start for everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Sohail, does it start for you? Okay.
Your one is
24%.
stuck in 24.
Really? Oh, okay. Let me yawn then. Come on, guys. It's boring. So no, it's gonna stay there in 68% for some time for everyone, and then when it comes to 68, it's also gonna be stuck there as well. Then after some time, it's gonna be completing 100%, and then you have to restart. Oh, I should have put the minus restart at the end here. It should have restarted itself automatically after the completion. So after that, you need to install. So okay, we can take this time as a break because it's gonna take time to do that. Yes, sir. Active Directory. Let's do that. Resume. Okay, everyone there. So all we need to do is, first of all, success should be true. Everyone sees the success as true. Yes. Okay, if that's the case, then restart dash computer. Restart dash computer, right? Everyone type that, press enter. Now it is converting it to graphical interface. It's going to take a little time, but not as much as that other time. It should not take a lot of time here. 22. Okay, cool. So while it is starting, we're gonna discuss what are our. Oh, it's already done. Okay. So our next steps here, what we talked about. Install ServerCore done, configure it done, login from Netplus admin done, convert this machine to GUI is now done, and we can go for install AD DNS. So once we convert to graphical interface, it's just like normal machine, graphical machine we had, right? Restart dash computer, the spellings, check the
Dash,
spellings.
not the underscore.
Yeah, dash. The
So we're going to install
Big-
Active Directory and DNS both.
yeah, so this means we are deploying or installing replica DC on graphical interface. So the next step would be, as soon as we log in from graphical interface, we're going to be deploying replica DC, and then convert it back to core with, and then we're going to confirm if the replica DC settings were there still when we convert it back from graphical interface to the core. And plus the server manager should also be showing in the core version, which was not showing before.
So when you log back in, it's going to be graphical interface.
Yeah, now it's converting to graphical interface, and it's there. Okay, server core is now graphical interface. Is there everyone there?
Not
I'm
yet.
already
Downloaded.
logged in.
Okay, almost done, right? Okay, so since we joined to the domain, and if you're done, you can now join the domain as well, because we're going to convert it back as well. So Netplus admin is already there. All we need to do is put the password. So everyone.
Not very good.
38, 45.
Oh, okay. So
What
we
kind
can
of
wait.
credential, the same thing, admin and regular.
Yeah, Netplus admin. Oh, I think you have administrator. You did not rename it yet, right? You
Yeah,
just installed. So
actually
you can just go for administrator.
Credential is standing on the Netplus domain.pro.
Exactly. Oh,
Because
okay.
I'm going for through by a
Yeah. Ad-
local server.
So yeah. So right now you're logging into a local server, or you logged in already?
I already logged in regular, like a local server.
Yeah. Then you're joining the domain now.
Yeah, for
Okay.
through by a
Cool. Administrator.
server manager local,
Exactly.
like this part.
Okay.
Local server.
So local server and join to the domain.
From bottom for domain. I
Yep.
can click here. So
Exactly.
just put our admin and then password.
Administrator and password. All right. So it is.
So Netplus admin username, right?
Yep. Still.
This is the following directive for attempting and join to the domain.
Mhm.
User and password is incorrect.
Ouch. So it's only administrator, and the password whatever you give just
No, I
now
did the
during
same-
the
I
installation.
did the same here, administrator I put it.
Yeah, it's okay.
Or I'm gonna put Netplus.
No, we did not create.
Administrator at Netplus domain.org.
No, just administrator. So you're joining the domain, right?
Yeah, I did for that.
So administrator. And yeah. So password is what you just gave for Active Directory installation.
So you say, it's loading as the file. We restarted, logged in.
Okay, logged in.
Still loading file.
Okay, so let me know when you're on the screen. Like logging in. After login, this is the first screen.
So it's okay, or later I can reset it.
Oh, you can just go
Oh, restart now.
just control and delete.
Mm-hmm.
This arrow.
So, oh, okay, still.
Yeah, almost done.
But some is not.
So resuming now, so the rest of the task is that it's ServerCore. ServerCore is there, and we're joined to the domain. Let us quickly install Active Directory and DNS and restart. So we're gonna make it a replica DC, and then we're gonna convert it back to core. So it's gonna be a replica DC on top of a core server, right? So we can just go for dashboard here and go for add roles and features, everyone. And next, first three windows until you reach the roles window. Select the second one, Active Directory Domain Services, add features, and next, nope, it's going to install DNS itself automatically. Next, and next again. Of course, this is something we did already, so install, and then let's configure the Active Directory again. So we are installing now a replica DC, right? We are installing a replica DC. All right, so after that, okay, after that we're going to be doing what? Converting it back to core, but with server manager option as well. So you will see a black screen command prompt screen there, but also you should be seeing a server manager popping up. So that was not before there, right? So that's another feature we can have. That's what we're going to test as well. Plus it should be a domain controller
Okay, so it's means we're gonna see both of them. Command prompt
and server
graphic.
manager. Exactly, just a server manager. While it is still a server core, only server manager screen with all the links will be there. You know, this screen. So with graphical, this screen should be there as well, right? Okay, so everyone done?
Yeah.
Everyone seeing the blue line?
Yes.
The blue line. Everyone else? So Mr. Yeah, scan. Ali?
Yeah, go.
Oh, okay, they're there. So promote the server, and Salman also. You see the blue line?
No, it's just.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, the next is it's if you want to install a replica DC, you have to just select the first option, and next, just put the password here. As you can see here, the DNS is already selected. This means DNS will be installed. If we unselect from here, then it's not going to install DNS automatically, of course, right? But we need the DNS, so we're gonna keep it selected here, right? Yep, same. Oops, XYZ. Yeah, I am so used to ABC shift 1 2 3. XYZ. Enter. Next. So everyone, this screen. So install from media option is there, and it's this option here. Replicate from which domain controller? Yeah. Oh, this option? Yeah, so this means that it's looking for a local DNS server, and we haven't installed it yet, so it's not going to find it, so we can ignore this, right?
Someone asked me if I need a password.
For
Supply your user password, username, account.
on which screen? Here? Here?
Previous, yeah.
So it's a pop-up
Yes.
here.
That's a part.
So you know what?
I'm not getting for
Netplus admin.
what I get for domain part.
Yeah.
That shows as a net domain / administrator.
Oh yeah. It should be like that. Net domain / administrator for you, because you did not change it to.
Yeah, when I
Netplus
was
admin.
go back, like next
Mm-hmm.
this
May I?
part
Yeah.
shows
So
wizard cannot be accessed to the list.
the wizard cannot access the list of domains. Yeah. So it's Netplus domain / administrator. Netplus domain .local. Well, and because password. Okay. Click change. Yeah. Again, put administrator there. Only administrator. And hey, the password. I think. Did you give ABC ABC?
Let me try for extra.
So you have to remember your password. That's the only thing.
Remember both of them, but
No. Which one did you give? You have to remember that. If the password is again wrong, it's gonna give so next. Okay, good. Right? The password is correct.
give a password now.
Yep.
Scanning.
Okay. So, so if you're on this screen, it's just asking for replicate any domain control from any domain controller, which is so I'm gonna select specifically just for a best practice or for a good habit. On this screen, I'm just gonna select the specific server here, and next.
Do we click the install from the media? Or
No. Install from media is for USB if there is no WAN connection. Okay, so syswall, yes, next. And next. This time I did not ask for syswall definition, but it's in the quiz already as well. Everyone did the quiz.
because I was in a Montreal and I was switching 3 in the night class.
Whoa. So when do you plan to do it? Today? The
Can
quiz?
you email me again?
Yeah, sure. That quiz link?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Install. Oh yeah, it's gonna ask for restart, so restart as well. So what are the objectives that has been accomplished here? Install replica DC, which is being accomplished. Now the next task after restart will be converted back to core with server manager. That's the important one. That's different than what we had already. Before we had command prompt only. Now we should have the server manager screen as well, while it is still a server core, right?
So reset.
So yeah, restart if it is done. Yeah, it's already restarting. So has it restarted already? Nope. Okay. And restarting. Okay. Mr. Sohail, is it restarting? Cool.
I have a quick question. While
Yeah.
you start. You know the virtual machines, the main thing,
Uh-huh.
your home tab. How can you lose your home tab?
How we can use this one?
Lose.
Home tab.
How do you bring it back? Because he doesn't have it on his
Controller.
Oh,
He doesn't have
Control
it.
F. Wow. Okay, Control F.
Control F.
No, controller to bring the mouse back.
Oh no, mouse. No, this home tab.
The
Is
tab
asking.
is gone for him. You only see server 1 and 2 and 10.
Oh, then you can go for here as well, because new virtual machine is there, and open a virtual machine. Open option is there as well, and connect to a remote server. That is also here. Connect to it. So whatever you see here is on file here. All those options are there.
Somebody from,
Other class?
I don't know, he doesn't have it.
Yeah, actually I have to see that too. If you miss that, then okay. If I miss that, I don't want to, but okay, it's gone now. No. So home tab for me is gone as well. Now I have to search myself as well. Sorry, you were saying? Customize, thumbnail bar options, folder view, virtual machines, open virtual machines. Okay, so I have to Google it. I lost my home tab as well. Go to home tab. See? Hey, you got it. Go to home tab.
I don't know how to
Home tab.
another folder.
Okay. So If you go to tabs and go to home tab, then you will have this tab here. If you were missing that, so go to tabs and this. Right? You're missing this? Now you got it?
I was so disappointed. I told them. Now I'm telling them.
You're appointed again?
He gave me this advice. I know that.
No, you could still try to, join us and try to
No,
do.
I'm just kidding. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely, I'm just
Okay.
kidding.
This, okay.
I'm not gonna leave you.
Yeah, thank God, man. So you got it. Yeah, the only way to get it is to lose myself as well, and then try to search. Okay, where do I go? But that's a good thing that we discovered that as well. Okay, so it's restarted for everyone. Replica DC. Let's log in and convert it back. There are the commands for that as well.
So we go for PowerShell into it?
Yeah, so we have to go to PowerShell to convert it back. So the next commands after you have successfully installed Replica DC here, let's go back to the next commands, which are these. So the following command removes the GUI interface but not the server manager. So uninstall Windows features server GUI shell -remove, and following command removes both GUI and server manager, which is uninstall Windows feature server GUI shell server GUI management infra -restart. So what we are going to do is, I'm just going to add the -restart as well, so we do not wait for that. So we need to remove only the graphical part of the windows, but not the server manager. So server manager should be there when we have finally converted this graphical machine back to ServerCore, right? So right click this command. I'm just going to,
PowerShell and all.
so first of all I'm putting it on the notepad. So I'm putting it on the notepad, right? Putting it on the notepad. Uninstall Windows feature, GUI shell.
And PowerShell?
So copy paste and enter on inside the PowerShell. So let's go back to that server core.
Just scanning again. Oh, they removed.
Yeah, it's so PowerShell. If I start without admin privileges, if I start, I was just testing. Okay, it starts there as well, and then it says, "Hey, you do not have adequate user rights, so you have to open PowerShell with admin privileges." So open PowerShell, right click, run as administrator. So everyone open the PowerShell with administrator privileges.
Sometimes it comes in a message.
Oh,
I'm gonna reset again. So I did reset and then login as administrator again.
okay, that's good. So press yes, and now PowerShell is opened in admin privileges. And now when you paste the command, it's pressing enter. Paste the command and press enter. It's going to start removal of graphical files and start converting it back to ServerCore, but now with Server Manager. Oh, what happened?
Everybody logged in as Netplus admin.
Which is okay. So close this. Right click. Close administrator. Now enter. Press start. The replica DC or this command?
This command.
Oh wow. Oh, you're fast. All right. So screenshots, everyone. So Scan is not sending screenshots for some reason, or are you sending screenshots?
No, no.
Okay.
So, because probably the my.
Oh,
Do you come and do labs here?
yeah. Do you live nearby?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime you can come here. Many students come here and do the lab. Many, or other classes as well. Then send the screenshot from here. Do that. One student lives very far and then come here just for screenshots. Snapshot. Well, we don't need to take a snapshot for this machine because we're gonna delete that after this. You don't need for future labs. If you want to do that, well, it's you can type the information about this machine that it's a ServerCore with replica DC. Did you install replica DC? Active Directory installed already?
Yes.
Yeah. So ServerCore converted to GUI. You can just type that.
For this snapshot, if I need it for myself.
Yeah. So type the information about that snapshot. What have you configured in this snapshot? So what have you configured? It was a ServerCore converted to GUI, right?
Server code to convert to GUI.
Yeah, ServerCore converted to GUI. Okay, the conversion is done. It's still doing.
No,
ServerCore converted to GUI. Okay.
let's try to restart.
Okay, so if you reach this, then send the Control Alt Delete and log in. Now you should be seeing, when I log in, it should show me the command prompt as well as the Server Manager window only, right? But this is a very good thing that if you see inside the command prompt Server Manager window, you still have access to a lot of links by mouse click. So the command we ran should be giving us Server Manager window. So when I press enter and log in, command prompt opens and see this Server Manager also just opened. But it is not a graphical interface. It's still a ServerCore, but this window is now also available. This means the links to install anything is available here, which is a very cool feature. That the machine is still command prompt, but now Server Manager is there as well,
So
which is
we need
very
to
cool.
add and delete something, so we can do by
From Server
accident.
Manager.
How do you switch? Where do you get? Like, how do you switch it back to the command prompt thing? So I will see right now.
Command prompt?
Just you. Command prompt came, but it did not define.
Minimize. So go to the minimize this, and whatever is minimized, it should be on the left side here. I can put it back, Server Manager here again, and then minimize again just to make sure that yes, it is still that speedy small operating system ServerCore, but now we have the links available by opening the Server Manager window as well, right? Everyone do it done? We are all seeing that Server Manager window? Okay, so this was ServerCore, and let's start another lab. Yay! But what are any questions for ServerCore lab? So what we did, we installed ServerCore, configured with sconfig, then converted it, then joined to the domain through sconfig, then converted it to graphical interface, then we installed Active Directory and DNS, restarted it, then we converted it back to ServerCore, but with the Server Manager option as well, right? So that's the main features of ServerCore here. And so any questions? Yes. Okay, what is the question? Oh, okay. So once ServerCore is done, we can just go for group policy. Yay! Okay, no one's excited. Anyway, so let's go for group policy. We haven't talked about that, and we're having a lot of slides here because we have a long time, enough time, and the lab was not very long, so we can start a second topic here. Everyone done with the ServerCore, right? So now we have two replica DC. Oh yes, we did not check that. The option if it's a domain controller or not. That's a good reminder, thank you. And if we go back to our lab on, so let's go back to server 1 here. Was I recording? Yeah. So let's go back to server 1 here and go to tools on server 1, Active Directory users and computers on server 1. Netplus domain.local and domain controllers folder. Yes, ServerCore should be showing while it has been converted back to the core edition. It is still should be showing as domain controller there, so authentication can be redirected to server 1 as well as ServerCore while it is at the core configuration, right?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Okay, so we're just checking that on server 1. Yeah, Mr. Suhail, you've checked it, right? And Mr. Ali, you have checked it? Mr. Scan, checked it? Mr. Ali, again? Okay. Mr. Salman, okay. Yeah, you're looking at it, right? So okay. Now this lab you can join us, right? So group policy. So we have checked it and it's perfect, El Perfecto. So let's get back to group policy. So what is group policy?
So it means the replica DC, so both sides we can see it.
Yeah.
Are we going to get the slides?
Oh yeah. So I'm just gonna upload it. Were you able to log into that LMS area?
Yeah.
Okay, everyone was able to log into LMS, the website. This one. Yeah. So slides were, day 1, day 2 and day 3 labs were still the basic lab configuration, right? And after that, now the video for these 2 labs will be there. Group policy, which we are about to do, and the other one, ServerCore, and the slides are for ServerCore because these are the exam objectives for 7410. Before it was the basic lab to get used to how to create a basic lab, right? So that's all explained in the video. There's no slide for that, but after that every other has a slide. And everyone downloaded the ebook, this one. So this is the official Microsoft book, right? So it's like
Do you have any reference book? Like this is not like I saw for the book. It's not like explaining much for definition.
really? It's a
copied-
proper book.
I copied the
Okay.
whole book.
Yeah. Hey, you scared me, man. Just kidding. Okay.
I already printed out the book.
You printed the book?
It's not
200 pages?
$7. It's not-
$7?
Yeah.
Word.
It's in Kennedy, French, between Midland and Kennedy on French. The Chinese place.
Midland.
2 cents.
and
Promoted Plaza? No, it's a HRDC building. In the bottom have a
This one, right?
market. Yeah, I have.
So it has 253 pages, and in $7 that's good, man.
7 plus I pay for.
That's a very detailed book. You can just search anything you want inside, right?
It's kind of lab things too, but it's not like explaining.
It's not
definition.
explaining.
Definition.
Okay, which definition you want? I can search for you. I'm
I'm
like, what? Okay. It has labs, but
look like a lab.
yeah, but it's not. It's lab plus 253 pages of definitions as well. But okay, there are many other ebooks. I'll just keep putting there.
Many
Other
reference.
books. Yeah, sure, no problema. Okay, so here ebook, just go for that and try. You could give the address as well. Others can also print. If it's just $7, it's very good, man. That's cool. 2 cents per page, right?
If
Good.
it's less than a.
I think he's your best friend, that's
they
why,
do-
right?
Over than a 500, they do 1.5.
Wow,
You
then
have to
bigger
be
books
bar-
also
you have
even
to be
cheaper.
bargain with them too.
Come on. Now we're gonna just give reference of Ali, and he could. Hey, that guy.
Yes, print us.
Or,
Keep
yeah,
copies
we
with
give
this
the money.
Since you didn't
I'm not that mad. Because
We can
I just
print 2 books for 1.
I just passed by. Luckily, I have a USB. I just printed out.
That is so good.
No, we can just go 2 guys there and say print 2 copies for 500.
Resuming now, and group policy. So a group of registry settings, not security groups. What is group policy and what is registry settings? So what is registry setting? Anyone knows what is registry? Registry. So if we go inside our machine, let's go to our domain controller. So if we go to domain controller and go to run here like this, everyone there?
Whose machine?
Everyone on the run? Huh?
DC
one?
one.
Yeah, server 1. Server 1 on the run. Everyone on the run? Yay, help! So when you're on the run, you can just say type here regedit. This is registry editor. So you should be on server 1 or server 2 or server 3, it's up to you. Just go to run and type regedit. regedit. Everyone there? So when you press enter and press yes here, so these are the registry settings. These are called registry hives. And what's the main purpose of registry setting? There's a local machine, there's a current user, there's a only users area as well. This is registering all the configuration. It has all the configuration for all the software and operating system related settings that we are doing here. So if you install MS Office here, there will be registry key entries here for the whole software installation. For whatever operating system setting you do, whatever changes, modification, and already some settings are done by default are placed inside registry. If by any chance what happened? Can it open?
I don't see the tab on the bottom.
Run. Oh, just scroll down.
Oh, you in the server core?
Yeah.
Go to server 1.
Server 1.
Yeah.
All right.
Just right click on
Server 1.
run and
Reg edited. So registry setting is all the settings of hardware and software inside registry, right? And applications.
EDI.
Yeah, regedit. And press yes. Okay, so whenever you implement a group policy, suppose you're implementing, again I gave the example for, oh, I want to block Internet Explorer, or Internet Explorer, some options in Internet Explorer I want to block for 10,000 users. So when I click OK to that group policy, enable that group policy of blocking Internet Explorer options, where does it go? Anyone knows that? When you create a group policy, implement a group policy, it goes and starts living somewhere and gets distributed from somewhere.
going for this registry first.
No. So when you create a group policy, new group policy, group policies are distributed from somewhere. From, okay, I'm gonna give you a hint, from some folder. Group policies are implemented from some folder, distributed from some folder. It is a repository and distribution point of group policies and scripts.
Share folder.
Very near, but syswall, you got it. Syswall definition coming again. Although I didn't ask during the installation, but now we're at the group policy topic. Group policy lives inside syswall, right? Okay. After you were able to save, others were not able to say that, right? So try to memorize the core concepts. If you don't know the core concepts, you understand, but you did not remember it, right? So in the interview, that's going to be very devastating for you. So repeat those concepts. That's why I make you repeat that, right? So registry settings, again, I put that group policy where I'm blocking some Internet Explorer options. Any group policy setting, when you implement that, it reaches the client computer and then makes changes in the registry. So ultimately, from one server, we are making changes or modifications inside the registry of every computer, every client machine, right? So basically we are making modifications in the registry. So what is registry? It is a collection of all the configurations and settings of applications and operating systems. This registry is in every computer, every Windows operating system. Registry is in every. So it could be a server operating system, Windows 2003, 2008, 2012, 2016 now coming, or Windows XP 7, 10, right? Registry, by the way we opened it, you can open it in any computer, any Windows operating system, and it contains all the configuration settings of the operating system and applications, right? This registry, we should not be making direct changes in the registry. That's not recommended. We can only make changes as a last resort if there is, Microsoft document that suppose there's some configuration, there's some corruption in the machine, and then you're trying to fix that and you cannot fix it. Then Microsoft gives you a document. Okay, if nothing works, then go to this registry setting, go to this local HK local machine, go to software, and go to Microsoft and go to assistants or anything, and then make that registry change. So we do not make direct changes in the registry. First thing, right? Second thing, we do not we make those changes in the registry through group policy, right? Very easy things to understand. Okay, how do we do that? We go to server 1, we open the group policy management console. So do we all know where's the group policy management console on server 1?
This is my
And-
friend Amir.
Hello, thank you for visiting here.
Carry on.
Okay.
Going for the tool and group policy management.
Yeah.
Going for tool and group policy management.
Group policy management. Tools. And do you see this? Group policy management. So there's a group policy management console or GPMC, and then there's a group policy editor. So editor is where we make the changes in the group policy, and console is where the whole settings of the related to group policy objects are available. Excuse me. So everyone there in the group policy?
Yes.
We can expand forest, and then we can expand domains, and then we can expand our domain name. Now there is a default domain policy here. So there are some security related settings for the domain by default. They are available by Microsoft, right? So if we want to see what are the settings, this is this document icon. Everyone see that?
Yeah.
Document icon. This is a group policy, right? A group policy. From group policy we can handle and we can maintain and manage our network environment, right? Microsoft domain environment. So if we click the default domain policy, if this message comes, just put that do not show, right? And press OK. Now if you click default domain policy, on the right side you have scope, you have details, you have settings, you have delegation. So scope just shows that where is that group policy implemented, or how far does it go, on which users it is implemented. It is implemented on all domain users. Authenticated users means all domain users. And is it implemented on what level is this specific domain policy implemented? It is implemented on all domain, right? If we go to details here, now it shows that owner of this group policy is domain admins, whoever is the domain administrator. Then there is user version, which is not showing sysvol version. If there are any policies related to users that are created here, there is no policy related to user. The only policy related to only settings related to the computer is 3 computer policies have been implemented, or configurations have been implemented. I can show you here in settings first. If we go to settings, in the computer configuration area, let's go to settings. You can see policies available here, written here, right? Or not written, available here. So if we go expand the security settings, click security. Now account policies, password policy, account lockout policy. Our account locks out as well if it stays idle. Kerberos related policy. Okay, what is Kerberos?
They like AC something is wrong with AC.
Oh, something is wrong with the AC?
Yeah, it's
That's
just-
Kerberos, okay.
Yeah.
No, what are you saying? No.
Encryption, password encryption.
Something. So you want me to close that?
No, it's okay, but I think some type of air is coming in.
Oh, dusty kind of. Right? Yeah, you were also
Everybody's having problem on
coughing and stuff. Yeah. So there's something. Ta-da. Okay, we have to tell that. Okay, so Kerberos,
Ticketing system.
yes, ticketing system. It is a ticketing system. It is used for authentication, Kerberos, and the password never leaves the network. So we need to know all this when you're repeating the video again.
More secure.
It is very secure because password doesn't go over the network, travel over the network, right? Okay, so Kerberos is there, the authentication system policy related to that is already configured. So what is going on here? We can see that there's a computer configuration, there's a user configuration, which means that group policies are all about either you can configure computer related policies or you can configure user related policies. Why only two? Why there is no printer related policy or server related policy? Why there are two main categories only? In the network, either there are computers or there are users that always make changes, right? Where all the modifications are required, where all the restrictions are required. If there are 10,000 machines and 10,000 users, either you put implementation security settings on the machine or you put security settings on the users. So that's why main categories are computer configuration and user configuration. Okay, delegation here is just that if you have a junior administrator, you're the senior administrator, and you get a junior administrator, hey, I'm so busy doing other things, Exchange Server and other Office 65, so can you just handle the group policy for me, and you would make sure that that guy knows everything, so you can add that person's username here, right? So delegation. But how do we implement a group policy? Let's implement a typical one group policy and check it out how it works, right? So how do we do that? Let's create a new organizational unit for that. So let's just minimize this first. Do not close it, just minimize the group policy management. Everyone there?
Yeah.
Minimize. Then go to tools, go to Active Directory users and computers. Everyone there?
Yeah.
Active Directory users and computers in the tools. So here we can create organizational units. What is it anyway? So let's create 3 organizational units. Let's pretend we have 3 departments, right? So right click, new organizational unit. We know how to create that. So if you're on this link, new organizational unit and sales, DEPT, department, sales space DEPT, press OK. Everyone did that?
Yeah.
Then right click again on the domain, new organizational unit, again, marketing, DEPT, marketing department. Everyone there? Press OK. Again, third one, new organizational unit and management DEPT. Okay, management department, press OK. So we have 3 departments here. Everyone see that?
Yeah.
So if we stay here now, if we keep this window open and go back and open the group policy management window, which is already there. Now, do you see these 3 departments here under the domain? Sales, management, marketing. No? So right click and refresh. Right click and refresh the domain inside the group policy management. Now do you see them? Right click the domain inside group policy management. Group policy management here. Right click. Do you everyone see that? Ali? No? Are you inside group policy management?
See it.
Oh yes. Okay. Everyone see that, right? And Saman? You see that?
Fine.
Okay. So group policies can be implemented on 3 levels. One is domain level. Second is OU level. Third is sites level. So this means that on top of the domain, if you connect any group policy, so suppose we connect that group policy of blocking Internet Explorer on the domain level, you know what will happen? Suppose there are 3 departments, we want to implement the block internet group policy only on the sales department. But when we create the policy, we link it to the domain itself. Instead of the OU, organizational unit we created, we connect it to the domain. What will happen? Anyone knows that? So the policy will get implemented on all users of the domain instead of the users of sales department. If we want to implement a policy only on the users of sales department, we have to connect that policy to the sales department organizational unit. Then only sales department users will get that policy. If you connect the policy to the domain, all the users will get this policy, and then we will get fired. Okay, yeah. So this is very, very careful. This is a sensitive process, right? Or if you implement the block Internet Explorer group policy to the sites, suppose there are many domains in the site. There is Netplus domain.local, then room4.netplusdomain.local, room6.netplusdomain.local if there is a room 6. So all the users inside one site will also get that group policy, right? So we have to be very careful which users need that policy. If the wrong users get the policy in thousands, you're in big trouble, right? So let's create a user inside a sales department and then implement a policy on that user which is called block desktop, or blocking the desktop area. You cannot right click on the desktop, you cannot change the wallpaper of the desktop. So how do we do that? We have already created organizational units, 3 organizational units. Anyone knows what is organizational unit used for? Why did we create that? Okay, let's minimize that. Let's minimize group policy management again and go back to Active Directory users and computers, which is already open as well. Everyone has that open? Group policy, Active Directory users and computers. So anyone knows why organizational units are created? What are they used for?
Separate all the sales, marketing, and management.
Exactly. So suppose you have 3 branches, even Toronto branch. There are users and computers. Of course, if you have a user, you have to have a computer for that user as well, right? So always there are users and computers. So if there is sales department and they have 20 employees, so there will be 20 users for the sales department, and there will be 20 computers as well, right? So a typical in an organization, let's just right click the sales department now and create like it is created in production environments. How it is created there? So right click sales department, new. Now we're going to create a child OU or child organizational unit, right? So but you have to right click the sales department this time, not the domain. So when you create that, you're on the organizational unit again. Everyone there? So now we can say computers only. Just write computers. Press OK. Again, right click the sales department, new organizational unit, and another child OU, and users. Just type users. So it should look like this now. Sales department OU has 2 child OUs called computers OU and users OU. So obviously all the computers of those users should be dragged from this computer area. If there were those computers joined to the domain, they will show here in the computers area, and normally we drag them to the computers of sales department, and the users are created in the users folder here, which is already created by domain. We drag all the users from there to the sales users if they are users of sales department, right? Now let's create a make-believe user here, or actual user. Right click the users. Let's create a let's right click the users, new, and user. Everyone there? So let's create user 01. User 01. Tab, Control C, Tab, Control V, user 01 again. Right? Next. So user 01 like this. Everyone create that. Next. And of course the password XYZ. XYZ. And uncheck the user must change password at next login. We are doing this uncheck in production environment. Always keep it checked. The user must change at next login. We will not do that. We will keep it unchecked, right? So password return, next, finish. The user has been created by everyone. Okay. So now we have a user to implement a policy on, right? So it has been created inside Active Directory users and computers. So let's keep it open and go back to where? Group policy management. I hope it is already opened by everyone, right? So group policy management, now let's implement a policy here. So sales department, if you expand inside the group policy management, do you see sales, computers and users inside the sales department in group policy management? If you don't, you know what to do? Refresh. Whatever you create inside the Active Directory and computers should be showing inside the group policy management as well. So if we F5 it, the computers and users now show there, right? For everyone it's showing?
Yeah.
Okay, Sama, showing? Okay, cool. Scan, check. Okay. So once it is there, when you click users, you don't see users. It's not going to show users. It's only going to show OUs. That's it. Domains, OUs, sites. It's only going to show that. Okay. So now let's implement that policy. So how do we do that? Microsoft best practice is to go to group policy objects and create any new policy there. If you already expand that group policy objects, you can see two policies already there, right? Two policies are already there. So these policies were created by the Microsoft during the installation of Active Directory. These policies were created. Why? You need a security on the domain level. You need a security on the domain controller. So the question to you is, how many domain controllers right now we have in our environment? How many domain controllers we have right now in our Active Directory?
Two.
Yes, we have two. Everyone agrees to that? It could be wrong. How many domain controllers do we have right now in this private environment? How do we know? Where do we go and check how many domain controllers we have?
Right now we have two.
Yeah, where do we go and check that? For sure. So let's go back to our Active Directory users and computers. Can you tell me which folder to click to know that? How many domain controllers we have?
Domain controller.
Domain controllers folder. So can you tell me now how many domain controllers we have? Two, right? ServerCore we just created. We installed Active Directory there, so that's a domain controller now, right? So this means it is giving AAA. It is giving Global Catalog Server Services, which is Forest Wide Service, and it is giving name resolution with DNS, right? So we have two domain controllers, right? Okay, minimize that, and we are back to group policy management. So there has to be security policies by Microsoft for domain controllers as well. That's why you can see already two created policies, automatically created policies. We did not create them, right? They're already there. They should be there. Now let's create our own group policy and make some changes or put some restrictions on that user 1 of sales department, right? So how do we do that? Right click the group policy objects like this. Everyone there? Right click the group policy objects and click new, right? When you click new, you can type block desktop, right? Everyone put that there. Block desktop, press OK.
No source.
Hmm?
You're not gonna give
No, starter GPU is not yet. Starter GPU is we're going there. It's a separate concept. So, block desktop. So, hey, we created a policy, yay! But it is useless right now. It does nothing, right? We still have to configure it. After configuring it to block a desktop, still it's useless for us. Why? Then we have to connect it to the proper organizational unit as well, so that the policy could be implemented on that user. In our case, it will be the sales department, right? User 1 has to get this policy. So first we configure it to make this policy useful. Right click the policy, edit. Everyone there? Right click the policy and edit. When you edit, now we have two major categories here: computer configuration and user configuration. And there are 1,600 plus group policies, right? 1,600 plus. So if you keep expanding, there are so many policies there. But let's go quickly and see how group policy really works. So go to user configuration, go to policies, go to administrative templates. Everyone seeing that? And then go to desktop. Everyone there? And then to your right side, do everyone see hide and disable all items on the desktop? If you see that, double click it and enable it. If you see hide and disable all items on the desktop, double click that and enable, right? Everyone there?
Yeah.
Enable, press OK.
Not apply.
Oh, yeah. Apply on OK. So, what is the proof that it is enabled? If you scroll to the right side like this, under the state it should be showing enabled, right? Everyone, it is showing enabled when you scroll to the right side.
Yeah.
So inside, this is the editor, right? Group Policy Management Editor, GPME. So let's close the editor now. We configured it. We don't have to save it. There is no save button here. It just is there, right? So close the editor, but we are still inside the console, Group Policy Management console, right? Now this policy, in this group policy, we made one modification, right? How can we see from here? If the group policy is selected, go to settings. From here, you can see under the user configuration, if we click the administrative templates and if we click the desktop, now we can see that, oh, this policy we implemented. Okay, if there were 5 or 6 policies, instead of opening the editor and going and searching for that policy, you can see from the policy and then settings, you can see here everything, right? Which policy have you configured? So we have configured hide and disable all items and it is enabled, right? So is this policy implemented on the user 1 at this stage? Yes. No. Why? We have to still link it. Without linking it, it's not implemented. It's just sitting inside the group policy objects. In group policy objects, it does not implement on anything, right? So how do we link it? We go to sales department here like this. Right click the sales department. Link an existing GPO. Everyone there? Link an existing GPO. When you click that link an existing GPO, now do you see your block desktop policy here? Click OK, click block desktop and press OK, right? Everyone sees that, right? Except for scan, everyone sees that? Oh, because you're like, okay, press OK. So, sales department on the right side should be showing block desktop. Everyone sees that, right? Now, whenever we make a change in group policy, we run a command called gpupdate/force. So on this computer, let's open the command prompt and command prompt admin, right? Command prompt admin, everyone open that? When you open that, let's just go for gp update/force. gp update/force. Enter. Refresh still refreshes it, but across the domain it does not implement that. So gp update implements that. So okay, is it done, everyone? Now let's go check it out. What is block desktop? So we'll go to server 2 now, server 2, and we're going to open command prompt here and run a long command called log off, sign out or log off from server 2 from Netplus admin.
Which one? Just the command prompt?
Yeah, any command prompt, because we're just giving log off, yeah, in the run.
So server 2, right?
And type cmd or right click and go to command prompt directly. On server 2, guys, on server 2, everyone, server 2. So on server 2, sign out from Netplus admin and sign in from user 01. So if you signed out already, press the 3 white buttons, go for other user. So log off, type log off here. Oh. So on server 2, log off. Do we know how to log off? So on server 2, you can just right click the Windows icon like this, go to command prompt. You know, if you right click here, you can also sign out from here as well, like this. I'm just using the command prompt to log off, but you could just sign out easy like this, right? As well. Just type log off or sign out. Anyone.
Login for local.
Then on, this is on server 2, right?
Yeah.
Server 2, everyone logged off. Then log in from user 01. User 01. Yeah.
What my account is disabled? Your account, I'm getting message, your account has been disabled.
Yeah, so when you try to type the user 01, then it says that
No.
He's still on the
it's not joined to the domain. Join to the domain now by logging in local administrator, join domain, then come back and then user 01. Yeah, you're logging in from server 2.
Yeah.
You should log in from user 01, right?
Yeah, I'm already
You should log in
server
from-
one, but
Yeah,
now I'm trying to log in
server
server 2.
2.
Yeah.
Server 2, you can log in from user 01 instead of administrator.
Okay, go to other user.
Other user and user 01 and the password XYZ, enter. When so group policies implement only when you log in from user or start up your machine. At that time group policies log in, implement, right? So that's why we logged off and logged in. Or every 120 minutes, if the user is still logged in, every 120 minutes it refresh itself, the group policy. If there's a new policy and you don't want to log off, then wait for 120 minutes, right? 2 hours? Wait for 2 hours for the group policy to refresh on any client machine. Okay, so have everyone logged in? How do we check it's the desktop is blocked? How do we check that? Try to right click now. Try to create a folder. So right click, yeah. Oh, it's asking for a change password.
Yeah.
You did not uncheck that option of change password, so it's now making you change password. So is it XYZ
Yeah.
for users 1? So change it to ABC, shift 1, 2, 3. Okay, so right click is not working. Alright.
join the domain and
After that,
reset it.
so restart again.
While I get there are currently no robots available.
Oh, okay. Let me just 1 second. Okay, so okay, if it is zooming now, yes, the policy really successfully implemented, right? So the desktop is blocked. You cannot change the wallpaper. You cannot create a folder here. This means what we wanted to achieve, we achieved it, right? Now let's check something else here. The user has restriction right now. The user cannot change anything on the desktop. So let's go back to server 01. Now on the sales department, we linked this policy, right? We created this policy inside group policy objects, like Microsoft says always. The best practice is to create every policy in group policy object, then link it to wherever you want to link it, right? So if we expand the sales department here, the group policy has been implemented on the sales department, right? So whoever is inside the sales department, it will implement on that. Which means what? If there's a organizational unit on sales department OU, you implement it on OU level. So all the child OUs and child OUs and child OUs, any users inside any OUs from the parent OU, the policy will implement on every child OU users, right? So this is called inheritance. So child OU users are not directly inside sales department. They are, the user one is actually inside the users OU, child OU, right? But we implemented a policy on parent OU. That's why user one got that policy. Now there is another feature called block inheritance, as the name says here. So let's create an other OU here. Now you know, if we want to create an OU, we can create directly inside group policy management as well, and we're going to do that now. But we can only create OU, we cannot create users there, right? So if create GPO, so let's create an OU. How do we create an OU? New organizational unit here, right? So we can create OU from Active Directory using computers as well as from inside group policy management. So everyone has right click the users. Now go to new organizational unit. Everyone there? And now create another user called New York. So sales department has users in New York as well. So now this is a child OU directly created under users OU, right?
How you can you go back?
Here.
No, first step.
So what we did was right click on the users inside the group policy management, and we went to new OU, right? New organizational unit, like this. Are you there? And then just click it and name it New York. So what we're trying to do here, now we're going to transfer the user one we created. Do you know which OU that user one is under? Under which OU user one is? Is it under computers? It's under sales department. Then under which OU? Computers or users? Users. It's inside the users, right? But we created under users another OU called New York, right? Let's transfer the user one from the user's child OU to the New York child OU, right? How do we do that? Doing anything regarding user, we cannot do it in group policy management. Where do you have to go for that? Active Directory users and computers. We have to go there, transfer the user from users OU to the New York OU. How do we do that? So keep this window open. Go to Active Directory user and computers. Everyone there? Do you see under users New York OU? So refresh, right? Now we see here under users OU New York OU, right? So let's right click the user one. Everyone sees the user one inside the users OU? Everyone sees user one?
Why you don't see the user one on the other one?
So we need to check another policy. We need to check another feature of group policy for that. For that, I want you to transfer user one from user's child OU to its own child OU called New York. So if you right click and move like this, if you right click the user and move, everyone has clicked move.
Yeah.
So go to sales department, go to users OU, child OU,
In the user one,
user one,
move.
yeah, and go to sales department, then expand users child OU, and then click New York like this. When you click New York, press OK. This means now where is the user one now?
Inside the New York.
Inside. So when you click New York, user one is showing here, right? All we did is moved the user from users OU, child OU to the New York child OU. Everyone did that, right? Now there's another feature we need to learn. So minimize this. New York? Oh, it's not showing there, right? Refresh it. So cancel it and refresh and then come back. When you refresh, now do you see New York?
No, expand the user.
Now right click. No, right click the move. Yeah, move the user. Again, sales. First go to sales. No, first go to sales. Yeah. Then expand it. Yeah. Then users.
Expand.
Yeah, here. New York. Okay. So now we need to learn one more feature, which is let's just go to group policy management quickly. Group policy management here. Everyone inside group policy management? Yes. Okay, thank you. Now what do? We need to implement, or you can see that block desktop is implemented on parent OU. Everyone understands that, right? But the New York users say, hey, we do not want this block desktop blocking our desktop. This policy should not be implemented on us. So what do? In New York, right click, New York OU, right click and select this option, block inheritance, right? So when you click block inheritance, you should be seeing a blue circle. Everyone is seeing a blue circle?
Yeah.
Okay. Now go to command prompt. Never close the command prompt, right? Open, keep. Sorry?
Go on user, yeah?
Sorry?
User, after user.
Your
New York.
right click the New York and block inheritance.
But I don't get any the blue sign on it.
So when you click, it should have a blue sign.
Okay.
Okay. So command prompt, you know what to run here now? Everyone knows what to run?
So we use
Up arrow, GP updates as force.
we open the command prompt.
It's going to implement the policy, right? Yeah, command prompt, and don't close the command prompt now. And also in future,
Update.
GP updates as force. Enter. It's updating. So what did we do? We transferred the user from users folder to the New York folder. On the New York folder, we enabled block inheritance. You know what's the meaning of block inheritance? Don't inherit any policy on the parent OU. You know which policies on the parent OU? Block desktop policies on the parent OU. So this means you're blocking the implementation of that policy on the New York users. And our user 1 is inside the New York OU. Which means what? What are we expecting right now?
Access the desktop.
So the desktop policy should not implement, block desktop should not implement on user 1 now, and you should be able to create, right click and create a new folder and change wallpaper. So how do we check that? Group policy always implements when the user logs in again. So log off and log in from user 1 again. So when you're logging in, the group policy will get implemented, but this time block desktop will not be implemented. So we are already logged in from user 01. If we right click here and sign out
Server 2.
on server 2 where the user 1 is logged in, sign out or log off, same thing. Everyone signed out?
Yeah.
Sign out and then send control or delete like this. User 1 is already mentioned there, so click that user 1 and you know the password. This time block desktop should not get implemented, and when you log in, first of all recycle bin should be showing here, which was not showing when the desktop was blocked. And if you right click now, it right clicks, so the policy has been blocked on a child OU, right? Block desktop policy has been blocked.
When we gonna put something, user and password, no login, right?
Yeah, during login the policy gets implemented.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to go directly for it.
Oh,
Let's say the same thing like that we do another like this, like moving another group. Any policies that you want to disable, you click that and you say block it.
yeah. If it is on the parent OU, you can block it at any level if you have the rights to do that.
So every time you apply a policy, it's always better to apply an OU level.
Exactly, at specific OU level.
Possible, and then you disable the bottom.
Whoever don't need it, disable. Otherwise, implement it on that level who need it. Yeah. So you don't have to disable. Actually, implement it on that level. Sometimes there's implement it on everyone, but don't implement on this. So then you go for blocked inheritance. Okay, let's go back to server 1 again. There is another policy. So I hope the command prompt is still open. Don't close it on server 1, right? So let's go for another feature. So now you as a system administrator, top system administrator, you realize, oh, New York people have blocked inheritance. I'm gonna see those guys now. Okay, so you go there to the block desktop policy itself, click that policy, right click and click enforced. Enforce mean that even if block inheritance is implemented, it's not going to be effective anymore. Enforce mean the top policy will be implemented even if block inheritance is there. So block inheritance is there, it's ineffective now if you click enforced, right? So click enforce. So there will be an icon showing here. The lock icon should be showing here. Everyone sees that lock icon? When you click enforced, it should be showing there, right? You don't see that? Scan.
Yeah.
Okay. So go to command prompt again. Let's see the implementation of that. gpip enforce. Click up arrow instead of typing the whole policy. If you click up arrow, it's going to put the older command there. It remembers all the commands. Enter. Now what are we expecting on the server side? Yeah, the block desktop policy will be enforced again and block inheritance will be ineffective. So right click and sign out again. We've on server 2. Let's go to server 2, sign out and sign in again from same user 01. Okay, now when you right click, it doesn't right click again because you enforced it. Although block inheritance is there, it is ineffective now. So we understand enforce means, the word says forcefully implement the policy, and block inheritance means don't inherit that policy. But if enforced is implemented, then block inheritance has no value, right? So we understand the concept here.
Yeah. So
Okay.
It's not gonna either log in as as a domain or like as an administrator or as a user. Effective
Yeah,
policy.
block desktop will be implemented
both
on,
policy.
yeah, it's
Both
going
user,
to
right?
user one only. So
Try
why
as did for both of them.
so why block inheritance will not implement on the Netplus admin?
It did.
It did in your case.
Yeah.
So Netplus admin is not inside the sales OU. Maybe you implemented block desktop on the domain level instead of sales OU.
They don't show.
So maybe the administrator account is inside the New York OU. No? Did you transfer or move administrator as well? So guys, we're gonna continue with this group policy in the next Saturday class as well. So there are one lab full ServerCore and one half lab here, and we're gonna continue with starter GPO, and then we're gonna deploy software from group policy as well over the network. We're gonna deploy some applications through group policy. We're gonna know the powers of group policy, but 7411 has in-depth group policy as well. So this is basic group policy, but we're gonna continue on next Saturday. So I'm gonna send the video. I gotta run now. We're gonna have extra classes because of that. Any